Hello everyone, welcome to episode. My name is Amit, and today we are going to see how to generate invoice PDF using Spring Boot application. So there are multiple libraries like iText, Apache PDF Box. With the help of these libraries, we can create a PDF. But in today's program, we are going to use Apache PDF Box. Okay, so let me show you one example that what is the way to create or in what way we are going to create a PDF. So I have the URL, I have application up and running. So this is the URL localhost 8080 download invoice. Now you can see that PDF is written. So this is written from the Spring Boot application, and in the same way we are going to create Spring PDF. Okay, so let's start with Spring Boot application. Okay, now let's start with Spring Boot application. So to create a Spring Boot application, I'm using STS. Okay, so here we need to right click and Spring Starter project, and here project name is, let's say, invoice generator or PDF generator, invoice PDF generator, let's say. Okay, and click on next. Here select Spring Web, then click on next and finish. So to generate a PDF, we are using here PDF box library. So to add PDF box library, we need to use one dependency. So let me show you. So this is a dependency that we need to use in our project. So copy this and go to the here invoice PDF generator in pom.xml, paste that dependency. Now we are good. Now the next step is create a package. Okay, so create a controller package. Now again create another package called as a service. Now the third package is called as a model. That's it. Okay, now to generate an invoice we need to two things. One is order, which contains list of items. So let me show you what will be the structure of that models in detail. So I already copied this structure. So our order will look like this, which contains integer ID, okay, and then customer name and list of items. Okay, and there is another class called as item, which contains product name, quantity, and unit price. Okay, so I'm directly copying this classes to save our time. Okay, so come to the here, create a model, new class, and order. Now click on finish, and let's paste here. That's it, we are good. Now create items. For this, right click, new class name called as a item. Finish, and let me copy this. Now provide here getters and setters and parameterize constructor. So getters and setters, and then provide parameterized constructor. Similarly for order. That's it. Now we are good. So here we have order, and order contains list of items. Now the next thing is we have to create a controller class. So for this, right click on controller package, create a class, controller. That controller class name is let's say generate or invoice. Okay, invoice controller, invoice controller. That's it. Now finish. Now the next thing is provide here annotation at the rate rest controller, rest controller. And the next thing is we needed a method. So public void, not a void, it should be response entity, and byte of array. Okay, array. So we are going to return here array of byte. Okay, and the next thing is generate PDF or get invoice. That's it. Get invoice. And here we need order ID. Let's say OID or order ID as a path variable. Path variable. That's it. Now the next thing is we have to provide here at the get mapping bracket and get invoice. That's it. Get invoice, and here we can pass order ID. Now we are good. Now after this we have to create. After this we have to create a service class. So let's create here service interface. So right click new and here interface. So invoice, let's say generator, invoice generator service. Okay, then finish. And after this, we have to provide here method. Let's say public void generate invoice and input arguments order, order. So from that order, we are going to create a invoice. Now create a new class. The class name, let's say class name is invoice generator service IMPL. Okay, IMPL. Now open this. Okay, this should be the class. Okay, so we have class invoice generator service IMPL and implements. Let me remove this. Implements from uh, invoice generator. Okay, invoice generator service. That's it, and override this method. Okay, so now we have method generate invoice, and here we are going to write a logic to create a PDF. But this code is very lengthy, or it contains around 50 to 80 lines. So to save the time, let me copy that entire code here. Okay, and we will go through step by step, or we will go in depth into that code. Okay, so let me copy the code. Now you can see I have already copied entire code here to save our time. Okay, so let's try to understand this PDF code. So first we are getting here order. Order contains customer name, and then it contains ID and then list of item. Okay, list of items. So here you can see we have created one byte output stream is equal to new byte output stream. It is coming from the Java. Now on the next line we are creating here PDF document is equal to new PDF document. Okay, it is coming from the PDF box. After this for the document, we have created the page. Okay, and we are adding this page inside the document. Now we have document. Okay, you can see. Now the next thing is we have created a PD page content stream is equal to new PD page content stream, and inside that PD page content stream we are adding this document and page. Okay, document and page. That's it. Okay, so we have right now the content stream which is coming from the PDF box. We have the content stream, and by using that content stream we are going to set the data inside the PDF. Okay, so let's start to set first header. So here you can see the first header is invoice. So let's set the invoice. So how to do that? So we have content stream. So content stream dot set font. Here we have to provide the font, and you can use, or there are multiple options for the font. Right now I am using this font, and the size of font is 16. Now let's begin the text using the begin text method. After this content stream dot new line at offset, and here we have to provide the position of the x-axis and y-axis. So this is the position of x-axis coordinate and y-axis coordinate. Okay, so invoice will be here because this is the position of the invoice. Okay, now the next thing is we have set the invoice. Now I want to set this customer name. Okay, so for this what we can do, again we have to declare here, or we can call set font method. Choose the font and choose the size, then begin the text. Once you begin the text, we have to again provide the x-axis and y-axis position. Okay, so we have provided here that position of the customer name, and we are that getting that customer name from the order because that order contain customer name, and we are ending that line or the text. That's it. Now our customer name is set. The next thing is we have to set these three headers. Okay, so let's start to set the headers. So for this, first begin the text. Okay, so begin the line. Inside that line, we have to provide the x-axis, y-axis position of the item. Okay, then we have to set the quantity. So to set the quantity, you can see the value of x-axis is 200. Basically, it's a gap between item and quantity. So gap between that item and quantity is 200 unit. Okay, now the next thing is okay, quantity. Now the next thing is I want to set the unit price. Okay, this is the unit price. So gap between quantity and unit price can be 100. Okay, so we are taking it here 100, and this is the gap between, or we can say that y-axis gap. Okay, so here we have provided the y-axis, so y-axis value called as a 680, and on the same line, what is the position of the next item, okay, or next text from that for that previous text? It's zero. Okay, it's zero. So here you can see the gap between, or between that this item quantity unit zero, sorry, unit price is zero in case of y-axis. Okay, so that's why here we are provided zero. Now next thing is we have to set the items. So this is the most important part. We have to set the items. Okay, so here what we can do, we can first set the font. Okay, same thing, and provide here the font size. And first we have to provide here the y-axis coordinate, okay, or y-axis value. After this, we have to iterate all the items from the list of items, and we are getting that list of item from the order. Okay, so let's start iterating that items. Now in the first iteration, we have to set the begin text. Okay, after this we have to set the position of the line. So x-axis is 50 and y-axis is 660. Okay, and for the next text, uh, okay, so sorry, here we are showing the text called as item dot get product name. Okay, item dot get product name. So we are showing this item dot get product name. In next line, we are setting the position for next text called as 200. So basically, as I said earlier, this is the 200 is a gap between these two things. Okay, so here that bat and 500. So gap between them is 200, and value of y-axis is 0. Okay, basically not a, it's not y-axis value, but it's a gap in case of y-axis between the previous text and current text. Okay, and here we are setting the text. So if you see string value of item dot get quantity, so it is converting that integer into the string. So we are getting here quantity, printing here quantity, and again we are setting here the next value. Okay, uh, next position value of the next text. So I want to print here unit price, which is here. So gap between this quantity and unit price is 100. So we have given here 100. Okay, and that y-axis value is 0, or the gap in case of y is 0. That's it. And then we have to print here that price. Okay, item dot get unit price. That's it. Okay, so in that way, or by using that for each loop, we can able to print these things. Okay, these items. Now most important thing called as a total amount. Okay, total amount. So for this, what we can do, let's begin the text again, and here we can set the position of that total amount. Okay, total amount. So x-axis is equal to 50 and y is equal to y offset minus 20. Okay, minus 20. So that means it will goes on next line here like this. And similarly, if you see here, y offset minus 20. Okay, so on every iteration, that y-axis or the position of every text or every line will get increased by 20. Okay, so that every item's line will get uh, printed, or every item will get printed on next line. Okay, so the gap between these two lines is 20, 20, and here similarly we have provided here the gap. Okay, that's it. Okay, so now the next thing is we have to print here total amount. Okay, so contain stream dot show text is equal to total amount, and here we have to calculate the total amount. So to calculate the total amount, we have created one method called as a calculate total. Okay, so let me show you this method. So this is the method, and this method needed list of items, and here we have written the for each loop, and using that for each loop we are calculating the total amount. So basically we are iterating each and every item from that list, and we are getting quantity. Okay, quantity, and multiplied by that unit price. Let's say we order 10 shoes. Okay, so quantity, let's say 10, and the price of each shoes. Okay, let's say 100, so or 1000. So 100 10 multiplied by 1000 is equal to 10,000. So total amount for single item is 10,000, but it will calculate in for each loop total amount for every item, and then finally we are taking the addition of all the items amount. That's it, and we are returning this total amount. Now here if you see, we are calling this method calculate total, and we are passing this order dot get item. Okay, so we are passing here list of items, and it returns us a total amount. Once we return that, once we get that total amount, then we can print here that total amount, and then at the end we are closing or ending that text. And after this we are closing this string. Okay, and after this we are saving that document, and we are closing that document also, and we are returning at the end that BAOS. basically that byte array output stream, which contain all the data in byte format. Okay, so in that way we can write PDFs. Now let's come to the controller. Now let's see how to return that byte array in form of PDF in controller. Okay, so this is our invoice controller which we already written, and we call that. Okay, so first we have to auto wire, right? Definitely we have to auto wire that service. Which service? PDF invoice, right? Invoice generator service. Okay, that's it. And here what we can do, we can call that method dot generate invoice and pass that order. Okay, okay, it should be here, it should be here. Okay, and pass that order. That's it. Okay, now we are good, and we are getting here byte, array of byte. Okay, so array or byte, that's it. Okay, now what we can do here, we have to return a response entity. So let's return here response entity, and then dot okay. Okay, and inside that okay, inside that we don't need to pass anything, simply dot headers, and we have to pass here headers basically. Okay, headers, and after this we have to pass the body. Inside the body we have to pass these bytes. That's it. Now the next thing is we need to pass here headers. So create headers, let's add here headers. So for this create http headers, and make sure that headers from the Spring framework. Okay, there are multiple libraries which has a http header, so this should be from Spring framework. Now the next thing is headers is equal to new headers, and in that headers we have to add the metadata. Let's say the content type, so content type is PDF. Okay, so let's add this. So headers dot add http header content type, and the content type is application slash PDF. That's it. Now we are good here, and then added headers here. And what is happening here? Build body. Okay, sorry, it should be body, not a build. It should be body. Okay, now we are good, and it is okay. It is asking to throw exception, so exception thrown. Now let's see, is it work or not? Okay, so for this what we can do, let's run the application, like run, and then run as a Spring Boot application. Okay, okay, so one thing is missing. In invoice service IMPL we have to provide here @service. That's it. Okay, now let's run the application. Now what is the URL? Get invoice, and here we have to pass the order ID. Okay, so let me open another tab, and localhost 8080 slash, and then pass, let's say, order ID, any order ID that you want. Now you can see that PDF is created here, product 1 to product 5 and their total amount. So in that way we can create a PDF, and we can download also that PDF. Okay, so you can see here we can download this PDF. Okay, so that's all about today's video. You will get that GitHub link in the description. If you like, so please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching the video.